How's everybody doing? Today we are simulating a season in the NBA, except there are only point guards in the league. So any player that didn't have a point guard as their primary or secondary position inside of NBA 2K21, I ended up deleting from the game. So we only have a league of point guards. So each team is going to have 4 or 5 point guards on their team. And it's going to be the players that actually play for that team in real life. So I guess we'll go over all of the rosters though, so you guys know who is on each team. Starting off with the 76ers, we got Ben Simmons, of course, leading them. I'll just kind of throw out the top names and you guys can look at the rest of the roster. Bucks led by Drew Holiday. Bulls got Satoransky, Kobe White. Cavs, Sexton and Garland. Celtics, you got Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart. Clippers, Patrick Beverly, Reggie Jackson, Rondo. Grizzlies, of course, Ja Morant up on top. For the Hawks, we got Trae Young, Lou Williams. We have Oladipo, Goran Dragic. Hornets, LaMelo Ball, Rozier, and Devontae Graham. Jazz, Donovan Mitchell ends up qualifying for point guard, and also Mike Conley. Kings, we got Fox and Halliburton. Knicks, Derrick Rose quickly leading them. Lakers, we got, of course, LeBron James leading them. Magic, we got Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony. For the Mavs, of course, Luka Doncic leading them. For the Nets, we got Harden, Kyrie, and Spencer Dinwiddie. This team is just looking so good. For the Nuggets, Jamal Murray. Unfortunately, he just went down with a torn ACL in real life, so hopefully he gets better. It sucks to see him get injured. Pacers, we got Brogdon leading them. Pelicans, Lonzo Ball, Isaiah Thomas. Pistons, Dennis Smith. Raptors, we got Lowry and Van Vliet. Rockets, John Wall. And Kevin Porter ended up qualifying as a point guard as well. Spurs, DeJounte Murray, Patty Mills, Derek White. Suns, we got Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Thunder, SGA. Timberwolves, we got Russell and Rubio. Trailblazers, we got Lillard and CJ McCollum qualified as well. For the Warriors, we got Steph Curry, and not much after him. For the Wizards, we got Westbrook leading that team. So that's going to be all the teams. I want you guys to leave a comment down below on which team you think is going to win. Let's get right into the simulation. Okay, so making it to the All-Star game, I hope this doesn't crash my game only having point guards in it, because it did in previous years. So hopefully everything's fine here. We got LeBron as our captain in the West and James Harden as our captain in the East. I mean, the fact that LeBron is a point guard in the game is very overpowered at that position. And looks like I was right. The entire game crashed when we got to the All-Star weekend. So that kind of sucks. Let's try this again. We are going to skip the All-Star game and hope this works. All right, so we made it to the end of the season, and Damian Lillard ends up getting MVP. He averaged 50 points per game, which is just ridiculous. 11.7 rebounds and 9.2 assists. Nearly a triple-double with 50 points. Rookie of the Year goes to LaMelo Ball. He got nearly 30 a game, almost 20 boards. Sixth Man of the Year is, of course, going to be a 40 overall because all of our point guards are starters. Ben Simmons gets Defensive Player of the Year. He had 28.8 points, 25 rebounds. DeAnthony Melton with Most Improved. And Steve Nash, of course, the coach of the Nets. They got Harden and Kyrie. Gets Coach of the Year. They go 71 and 11. Let's check out these All-NBA teams. So we're only going to be able to see the guard positions. How I fixed the roster from crashing the entire game, I had to make a bunch of the 40 overalls centers and forwards, and that ended up fixing everything. So Lillard and Westbrook on the first team. So it looks like they performed the best out of all the point guards. And we had Luka and LeBron on the second team, and Steph and Harden on the third team. For the defensive team, we had Simmons and Drew Holiday, and LeBron and Chris Dunn on the second team. I was going to say, if LeBron James does not make the defensive team, I mean, he's so much bigger than any other point guard. It should be a lot easier for him to defend. And then in terms of the all-rookie team, so this doesn't matter if they're guards or not. We got LaMelo, Cole Anthony, Saban Lee, Trey Jones, and Mason Jones on the first team. And on the second team, Tyrese Maxey, Nico Mannion, RJ Hampton, Kareem Maine, and Devin Dotson. Let's check out the standings next, though. So in the East, of course, it's the Nets on top, which is not surprising at all. Then it's the Toronto Raptors, led by Lowry and Fred VanVleet. I guess it's a pretty good duo there. we got the Bucks. They're led by Drew Holiday. 76ers, with Ben Simmons, I thought they would do a little bit better. Then it's the Hornets, Magic, Wizards, and the Miami Heat are going to be the final team to make it into the playoffs. The Heat with a pretty good roster here. Dragic, Oladipo, and Tyler Hero all on the team. Barely don't make it in. And the worst team in the East is going to be the Knicks, which is funny because they had the most point guards in the entire NBA. Like before I traded some of their point guards to other teams, they had like 7 point guards. Moving over to the West now, it is going to be the Lakers on top. Of course, when you're led by LeBron James, you're going to do pretty good. We had the Trailblazers, Lillard, of course, the Warriors, the Suns with the duo of Chris Paul and Devin Booker, the Mavs with Luka Doncic, another player that can play multiple positions, not just point guard. We had the Jazz, and then the Grizzlies and the Kings, 2 final teams making the playoffs. The worst team in the West is the New Orleans Pelicans, led by Isaiah Thomas, Eric Bledsoe, and Lonzo Ball. All right, so checking out the league leaders next. Of course, we got Lillard on top with 50 points per game, Curry with 42, Westbrook with 41. I mean, when you got teams that only have like what, 1 or 2 guys to score, we're gonna have some pretty crazy stats. Luka, Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, all also with over 40. LeBron was close. How many players do we have with over 30 points per game? 22 players averaged over 30 points per game, and 65 with over 20 points per game. This is just crazy. These stats are so inflated. Rebounds per game, it's going to be Westbrook, Ben Simmons, LeBron, Luka up on top, which makes sense. All of those players are either tall or very athletic. Assists per game, we have Ricky Rubio, LeBron, Harden, only 3 players with over 10 assists per game. And LeBron James is he the only player? No, Harden and LeBron are the only 2 players that averaged a triple-double throughout this season. TJ McConnell with the most steals, 3.6 steals per game. Kareem Maine had the most blocks. I mean, I'd expect like Ben Simmons and LeBron James to be up there, but field goal percentage per game was Ben Simmons and LeBron James up on top. It was Ben Simmons by far had the best field goal percentage, though. Probably one of the only players that doesn't shoot threes. And for 3-point percentage, it was Curry, Lillard, CJ, Harden, Kyrie with the highest 3-point percentage. But let's get into the playoffs now and see which team has the best point guard, starting off with round number 1. And round number 1, we had a few upsets in the West. So LeBron beats Kings, that was expected to happen, but the Mavericks with the upset over the Suns. Of course, the Suns with that great duo, they end up losing. The Jazz beat the Warriors, and then the Grizzlies beat the Trailblazers. So Lillard and CJ falling in the first round, not what I expected. And in the East, it was all the top 4 seeds moving on. And simulating one more round in the West, of course, we got the Lakers making the Western Conference Finals, and they're going to be facing off against the Memphis Grizzlies. I didn't expect the Grizzlies to get this far, but it is what it is. And then in the East, it's the Nets versus the Bucks. I didn't think the Bucks would get this far. I think there's some teams that have a lot better point guards, but it should be Lakers Nets in the finals. And that is exactly what it is going to be. By far, the 2 best teams in this whole thing. I mean, the Lakers, it's because of LeBron James, just because of how big he is. None of these point guards are going to be able to defend him. Let's see who wins the series. Game number 1 goes to the Nets. Game 2 goes to the Lakers. Game 3 goes to the Nets. And the Lakers tie it up 2-2. Lakers with a 3-2 lead now. And the Nets are going to tie up the series 3-3. So we are going to a game 7. And game number 7 ended up turning into a bit of a blowout here. The Nets up by 16 points right now. I wanted to get some gameplay here, though. I just wanted to see how it looked in the actual game. Right now, the Nets do not have Kyrie in the game. Instead, they have one of the 40 overalls. And the Lakers have the same thing. So 40 overall on a 40 overall. Dinwiddie with the tough floater, but he still hits that somehow. Lakers are going to need one of the craziest comebacks ever if they want to take this. And I think LeBron should be the guy handling the ball. We got a 40 overall with the ball right now. Okay, he at least passed it up. That was a brick, though. I guess other than LeBron and, of course, Alex Caruso, this Lakers team is not the best. Whereas the Nets team, they have a lot of good players. Chris Chioza with the three-pointer there. And they almost have a 20-point lead. Here we go. And that shot's no good. Lakers just really struggling right now. Harden to Dinwiddie. That was an awful shot. LeBron inside, and he gets the bucket to fall. But there's really no chance of the Lakers coming back here. So let's just skip ahead and find out who gets Finals MVP. And Finals MVP goes to James Harden. He averaged 27.3, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. His points were a little low there. After averaging like 40 during the regular season, he still gets a triple-double in the Finals, though. Great performance. And the Nets are our NBA champions, which honestly is not surprising at all with Harden, Kyrie, and Dinwiddie. They're kind of expected to win this thing. LeBron carried the Lakers to the Finals. But other than that, he didn't have much help. And this is going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, smash the like button. Let me know if you guys want to see another position, like only forwards, only centers. Let me know in the comments down below. But I will see you next time. Peace.
Never at ease, I don't know a limit. Chasing a dream, I don't know what sleepers. I got a queen, she lit me to eat it. She ripe like a peach and she snapped me to snippet. We well overdue for that link up in person. Text me to fall through a murder, she wrote it. Still with courage, you're doing a service. Pull up to the crib, I'm equipped with the brush strokes. Cutthroat from the low when no love goes.